We're just talking about you follow Dave Nelson.
Oh, I do.
On
Every
this
year.
program.
Yeah.
And it's his nephew, Brian Peterson, who is the head coach at South Dakota State. And I was kind of giving you a little bit of a background on Brian. He's had a very successful coaching career, 2 national championships when he was at Kirkwood Community College. But the Drake coach, McCollum, got the Iowa job.
Oh, wow.
The South Dakota State coach got the Drake job. And so Brian, who had been his assistant, got elevated to the head coaching position.
Oh, gosh.
So we've got 2 Clinton natives who are Division I head coaches with Shauna Green, Shauna Garrison
That's right.
at Illinois,
That's right.
and then, of course, Brian Peterson there as well.
Yeah.
So,
And that fella from Fulton, he's like a weight coach or something for one of the NFL teams, isn't he? Like a graduate.
oh,
from
who's
Fulton.
that?
I'd have to Google his name.
Yeah.
But,
Well, and then you got Brett Bielema, who's
yes.
from
Oh, yeah.
Prophetstown,
Yeah.
your neck of the woods over there,
Yeah.
close to Morrison.
Yeah. Several years ago, when I was in the Rotary Club, I ran into Brett's mother, and I said, at Rastrelli's, I was planning the programs there, and I said, hey, is there a chance we could ever have Brett come and do a presentation here at Rotary? And she goes, he met a girl, and we've never met her. This is his wife now, Jen. And so she goes, here's his phone number. This is when he was at Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
So I thought, oh, what the heck? I'll go out on a limb. I dial the number, Brett answers. And he goes, oh, Mom got a hold of you, huh? He says, yeah, I know. So he came. He came here, and boy, what a neat presentation. Mike Rastrelli says, I want you to do every Rotary meeting, Mick, because that was the biggest crowd I've ever seen.
I would
we had
think
about
so.
90 Rotarians,
Yeah.
with their spouses, came to see him. And what a quality guy, tight end at Iowa, was it? I know he's tight end.
No, he was a defensive end.
Defensive end at
Right,
Iowa.
yeah.
So
I can recall when he was at Prophetstown High School, Jim Proud was the head coach over at Fulton, and I would do the coaches program, and he would always, when Brett was there, he goes, yeah, we got this kid. He's their fullback, and he's their middle linebacker we got to keep an eye on, and that's Brett Bielema, of course,
gosh.
went on to Iowa. So, yeah. Speaking of football, we got to get your pick. Seattle or New England? Who do you like?
Dave. I'm going with Seattle.
Nobody's picked New England yet.
Well, I'm kind of with him. It's they've won it enough. Let's. and I think this new coach at Seattle, what a way to break in.
Yeah, well, Mike Vrabel, what he's done at
Yes,
New England, former
that's true.
Patriot himself.
That is true. Yeah,
It's going to be difficult to name Coach of the Year between those two,
gosh.
and then what the job that the Chicago coach has
You got
done.
to throw him in the mix. Even though I'm a Packer fan, I got to throw him. I got to throw him in the mix because what a coach coaching job he did.
It's interesting. The Buffalo Bills fired their coach, Sean McDermott,
Yeah.
but the Packers kept Matt LaFleur.
I know, and even extended his contract, which I thought, well, we'll see where it goes.
Big money, no doubt about that.
I know.
Well, speaking of big money, you guys over there at Morrison Community Hospital, you just keep adding on. What's going on right now, Mick?
I'll tell you, Gary, back when we broke ground in 2019 for this last expansion, I thought, in all reality, that's probably it, because I thought we had looked far enough ahead that this was going to be plenty big. And little did we know that, a couple of years later, we had already outgrown what we had already expanded into. And so with the addition of several new physicians, when I started 13 years ago, we didn't even have a doctor. The one that did my physical, and then she quit. And so we had one nurse practitioner. That was it. So when you're marketing and you have one person, they get billboard advertising, radio, you name it. And to see now we have 17, and 12 mid-levels,
How did this expansion all come about?
Well, I look back on it, and, I'll sit with Pam, my CEO, and we just had a board meeting on Wednesday night, and one of our board members was pointing out to me, and our revenue that we had in the month of December, was equal to what we had seen for, several months, back in the old days. And he goes, boy, remember those? I said, remember them. My gosh, we lived through it, and to sit and just reminisce with Pam. And some of this just, fell into our lap. I remember the first time I was sitting in her office, which is long removed from where we are now, where her office is now. But we got an application from Dr. Guarvi, and she was an endocrinologist, which in our area was kind of key, and there was none around. And she just said that she was going to be, she was doing a residency in Boston, and she wanted to move near Chicago, but not in, and raise their kids. So they bought a condo in Morrison. She and her husband raised 2 kids, and boy, we're off. All of a sudden, not only do we have a doctor, but a specialist that was so much needed for thyroid issues and, in the area, and things that she addresses, diabetes. Now she's doing telemed still for us, but they moved to Houston, so we had to expand into the telemed world, and so she sees patients by television.
Interesting. Are you getting landlocked over there at all, Mick?
Well, we're going up. We bought the land on the corner, and it's interesting, Gary. Pam said that the number one request she gets is, hey, are you going to do a goods furniture thing like there is in Geneseo, or what is it?
Yeah, Geneseo.
And to go across Knox Street, build a walkway. And we says, oh my gosh, we're not even, we haven't even installed plumbing yet in our new addition that we have now. And let's kind of focus on the construction near at hand for now.
Who does talk about the architect?
Yeah, we have a guy out of Bloomington, and Dave has almost become a family member, because they designed the last one that we did, and then they're doing this one, and boy, we have been so impressed, and they have also selected our general contractor, and that's PJ Hare, which is a really good company. The design company is Farnsworth, and but they have done just an outstanding job. Their team is top notch, and the thing I really am impressed about is that they come and they meet with you regularly. They even come from Bloomington and meet with us and keep us informed.
So, I mean, you throw ideas out to them. They say, well, this might work, this might not work for you. How's that back and forth work?
Well, I remember the last expansion, Pam and I were just sitting and reminiscing, and we thought, in the old days, if you walked into our emergency department, Gary, throw HIPAA out the door. The 3 bays were separated by curtains, and back in '72, maybe that was Cadillac, I don't know, or what was required, but we said we got to redo our emergency department, so we started there, and we had some guys come in and they said, you're aiming way too low. You need to build a orthopedic surgery center. And we said, okay, we don't have an orthopedic surgeon, but it's the old, if you build it, they will come. And sure enough, we did it. And then he says, you're going to have to expand your lab. You're going to have to expand your radiology department. And so I shredded all of my $6 million expansion idea for 6 emergency bays, and it became $21.5 million for what we did recently in '21.
How do you get that money? I mean, is it in some grants involved, just local fundraising?
We were fortunate in that case because they said, if you're going to expand, now's the time, because we went through the USDA and they had a 1-point-something% interest loan and for 30 years. And they let us roll over some of the value that we had in a previous renovation into that loan. And so when you're talking interest payments that low and loan payments, this is your shot. And then when you build, 2 new emergency rooms, state of the art, and remodel another one, all of a sudden you start drawing that revenue from those surgeries, and that kind of funnels back in again, pays the loans, and also kind of lets you look forward.
All right, visiting with Mick Welding. We'll have more right after this.
I was in absolute shock when I got the notice. I thought it was a mistake. In October, my health insurance company told me my premiums were going up $9,000 a year. $9,000. Turns out it's because Congresswoman Marionette Miller Meeks got her way, and Republicans in Congress took away our health care tax credits. Congresswoman Marionette Miller Meeks called a plan to protect health care tax credits unreasonable. But she found it reasonable to give billionaires another tax break. That doesn't seem fair to me. I live in Norwalk on a fixed income and can't afford to pay $9,000 more a year. And it's not just me. Health insurance is skyrocketing for over 100,000 Iowans because of Marionette Miller Meeks. Please call Congresswoman Marionette Miller Meeks at 202-225-7576. Tell her to vote to bring back our health care tax credits and stop raising our health care costs.
Paid for by Fairness for Iowa.
It's now time on KROS for the Storm Track 8 weather forecast, brought to you by Morrison Community Hospital.
Happy Friday. We are still going to be cold today with highs only in the teens, but we will be quiet. There is going to be building clouds with a little bit of a breeze with gusts as high as 25 miles per hour as we head into the afternoon. Still in store for a cold night, but we'll start to see warming temperatures into the weekend. Highs go to the 20s for Saturday. I'm Storm Track 8 meteorologist Morgan Strackbine.
Currently, we have overcast skies and a temperature of 7. If I put a 4 in front of that and make it 47, you think people will feel warmer? And winds are out of the north at 10 miles an hour. The weather report on KROS has been brought to you by Morrison Community Hospital.
The recent Morrison Community Hospital expansion and renovation has provided new specialties and state-of-the-art facilities. The expansion has also opened up many new job opportunities. Join their hospital family and help make a difference in this rural community. They are hiring for RN, LPN, lab techs, EMTs, coders, and leadership roles. They offer comprehensive benefits, hospital discounts, tuition reimbursement, plus some great sign-on bonuses for some jobs and night shift positions. For a complete list of openings, visit morrisonhospital.com/careers.
Ice cream that makes you smile. That's what you get at Smiley's Ice Cream and More in DeWitt. They feature 36 flavors of hard scoop ice cream, along with Dole Soft Serve. From cones, shakes, malts, and sundaes to Monster energy drinks, Smiley's Ice Cream has you covered. They also have ribeye sandwiches on Saturdays and pulled pork Wednesday through Sunday. Treat yourself or the entire family to Smiley's Ice Cream and More, 911 11th Street in DeWitt.
Slops Bar and Grill, 1015 13th Avenue North Clinton, is a great place to gather with family and friends. Be sure to enjoy their popular burger night on Mondays and their tacos on Tuesday. The kitchen is open 7 days a week at Slops, and they also have an outstanding selection of appetizers. At Slops, happy hour weekdays 3 till 6 p.m. Be sure to like Slops on Facebook and see all the special events planned. Slops Bar and Grill, 1015 13th Avenue North, where your friends are. Men's Day, and it's Mick Welding of Morrison Community Hospital in right now. Well, we got to talk about some new physicians that are on staff right now. Fill us in on these folks.
Well, one of them, Dr. Jamal, we've been fortunate, Gary, that he has fit in so well. And he was doing it only a couple of days a week, and we kept saying to him, hey, the demand is there. The reviews are just 5-star and above. You know, they're over the top. And would you consider some more hours? And so he's added a couple of more days. In fact, when I was coming over here this morning, I ran into him in the hallway, and he says, hey, one of my patients says that you make really good cookies. And I said, and I need to meet you some morning over at McDonald's and have some coffee and some cookies and kind of visit with the guys. That's the kind of guy he is. He'll do that. He'll pop into McDonald's and say, hey. And so he is such a great guy, great family practice physician. So he's expanded his hours. And of course, long-term physician Dr. Mark Woods has finally retired in Morrison. And Dr. Trevor Troutman has stepped in. And an interesting story, Trevor, his family he's born and raised in Morrison and went to Morrison schools. And he said that Dr. Woods used to be his family doctor, you know. So now he's transitioning into the guy who actually treated him. And the neat thing about it is, to make it a complete family affair, his sister Michaela is his nurse, and so we have a family affair thing going on. So his practice is building nicely. He's taken a lot of Dr. Wood's clients. Some of them are a little bit older, but he will take kids all the way from, you know, almost birth to you know, 90s, and so he's doing well.
Well, that is good. Anybody else new on staff?
We actually have a couple of doctors that. We have a Dr. Prucker that has joined us, but he's been there just a few months. He's worked Saturdays, which is rare for a doctor, but he does a great job. And we also have Dr. Nikki Eustace has been with us almost as long as me. She came about a year after I did, so about 12 years. And but she has taken the time to get certified for a hormone replacement therapy program that she now introduces. She's menopause certified, and so she now has the ability to meet with ladies and kind of talk about some of the things that they're going through, and things back in the old days they didn't know how to treat. Now she can help ladies progress through that, things that we may not be aware of, but the ladies in our families we know well, Gary.
So before we get to wrap up, we got that event coming up soon in the month of May.
Yeah.
You pick out a very appropriate song for somebody your line of work.
Well, we typically like to keep people alive and keep them healthy, and so I guess I kind of went with something, and one of my favorites, growing up through the disco years, so maybe people can guess.
Mick Welding from Morrison Community Hospital. And Mick, you've got an event coming up in May?
We do. This is our annual, Gary. This is 13 years. It's a wine and beer tasting. Our wine has already been determined. We like to stay local with that. We've done Wide River. This year we're going to do Tioga out of DeWitt. They're going to do our wine. And so we're excited about that. You had asked, why do you come over to Clinton to do this? Well, it's because we've got a really good working relationship with the Clinton Park District, having lived here for so many years, and I know the people there. But the lodge, it'll seat up to 299 people. We cut it off at about 275. This sells out every year. And so it's big enough. The venue's perfect. It's beautiful. We have Corner Stop catering out of Preston, Iowa that comes over. We get a lot of prizes. The beer, though, my cousin, there's not many Weldings around here, and I'd had a cousin in LeClaire with Green Tree Brewery, Matt, but he can't do it this year. So we're recruiting a very local brewery. We're going to see if that'll work out. But we would love to be able to, we'd love to feature, some local businesses in this. We have good sponsorships for this because they know that they're going to have good exposure with 275 people. It's a sports theme this year. So I've kind of stressed that I'd like to see a lot of Packers apparel and the Iowa State Cyclones, where I went to school. So we're going to see, a hefty amount of Iowa Hawkeyes over here, which we should. But
so what all takes place at this event? I mean, is it a little bit of a program or just a good time?
I think that's what people like, is that there's not really a program, because we do a dessert auction that is incredible, because we'll get desserts from Brenda at Sweetheart. We'll do some cakes and auction those off, and that's fun, to do that. But we've kind of gotten away from lecturing people. We just let them get together, go out and take some pictures out on the veranda, by the river, and do that. And I'll tell you, since we've kind of backed off of that and went with, we did a Western theme, a Hawaiian theme, now it's sports. And so it's drawing people, and I think they come and like to try sample beer, the craft beer and some wines, and just sit and visit with people.
Do you get a lot of the same people come year after year?
Oh gosh, I've already got, we haven't even opened up ticket sales yet till March 1st, and I've already got 5 tables sold, and those are people that they're recurring people. They come back every year.
And of course, you would like to get some new blood as well. So you say March is when you're going to
open up ticket sales.
Okay.
It's going to be online. We've got a new website company, and we've been working on the build out of this website for the past 6 months. And we launch it March 3rd. And so incorporated into that is a new page to highlight this, so people can log in. They can pay directly for their tickets online, do that. And we don't really need to have a ticket to present at the front door, but we have their name, and we put that on a banner in alphabetical order to show them where to sit.
Appreciate you coming in. People would want to find out more about Morrison Community Hospital. How can they best do that?
Well, MorrisonCommunityHospital.com, or MorrisonHospital.com, I'm sorry, is actually a really good resource, and it's going to be even better here in about 4 weeks. But it's you'll still get all of the information you need to do, or they can always call the hospital or look at our Facebook page.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure, Gary.
New year, new ride. Start 2026 in style at Cunis. Bring in the savings with a